Hello, I would like to tell you how to cook my version of beans. Now, this is a beautiful bean stew. Without meat, without animal skin or cow skin, which we call kanda. Without meat again, this is more like a cooked kind of meat. Without stockfish, without crayfish. I know, right? Is that even possible? Well, let's see how I do mine. Well, this is for the vegetarians who still want to eat the African food but are trying to take the more healthy route. Now, these are a couple of ingredients that I put together, and I'm going to go ahead to describe each and every single one of them. Now, forgive the Elizabeth Taylor hand lotion in the background, that is not part of it. Okay, first I have my beans. These are black beans that I bought from the store and I boiled them. You can also use canned beans, okay? Next, I have my bottle of pure red palm oil. As you can see, this is an actual bottle. Next, I have some spinach. Now, you don't have to use that much, and I'll show you how to use it in a very little amount of time. Also, I have one full onion. Next, I have a few potatoes. I meant tomatoes. I know, how can someone get confused between those two? Sometimes I get confused, but don't worry about it. And then I have a ground black pepper. I have some sea salt, which I prefer to use because it's better than actual salt. I have some sliced green peppers, which are called bell peppers in the United States. I have some ginger. I have some crushed garlic. I have some basil. And I have some Maggi, which are bouillon cubes. I also have some pepper because I like to eat spicy food. Now, I'm from Cameroon, and this is how we make beans in Cameroon. This is not how everyone makes beans in Cameroon. This is how I make my Cameroonian beans, okay, vegetarian style. Now, first you want to, cut your onions, and you want to have your, spinach sliced as well. Then your tomatoes. What I do is I blend it in my little blender. You can actually chop them if you prefer. It depends on what your taste is. Okay? Then I put a little bit of olive oil in a pot and I added some black pepper to it. Next, I took some salt and I put it in my hand just to measure it to my taste and I added it in there. Next thing I did was to chop the onions that I had before and I added it into the pot and I stirred it for a little bit of time. Then the bell peppers or green peppers, I threw them in there and I stirred it. Next thing I did was to get some of the crushed garlic and ginger and I added it in there. Now the next thing is to take the tomatoes that was blended and add it in there. After stirring for a little bit of time, now it's time to put in the beans. Yay! I have the beans in a strainer, I've washed it and everything, and then I put it in there. I stirred it for quite a bit of time. And then, this is where I bring in my palm oil. I put in some of the palm oil, and I added in some basil, black pepper, and spinach, which I measured in a little bowl to make sure it's not too much, okay? Now, after stirring it for quite a bit of time, it will look something like this. And then this is where I add my pepper. And then, of course, it's not an African dish until you added some Maggi. Stir it, stir it, stir it. This is what it looks like. Well, ta-da-da-da! You gave me this, and I brought you that. Now, this is what it looks like in a close-up picture, and it can be served with some yummy, yummy rice.